Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Pranam and welcome to Meet the Master series organized by the World United Organization. This series is a prelude to the Third World Parliament on Spirituality. I am Jyoti Taneja, your host from India, and along with me is Prachiti Gargi, the co-host. Today we have with us a successful entrepreneur, a philanthropist, vice chairman, Pyramid International Rally, executive director, Thrive Art and Soul, propagator of Quantum Life University, and above all, a man on a mission to change and transform as many souls as possible with his knowledge, learning, and experience. Practical and down to earth, Shreans Daga comes from Baitul, Madhya Pradesh. He is also the director of Baitul Oils Limited. Welcome, Shreyans, to the platform. Okay, welcome to the platform. Welcome to the session, Shreyans. And we're
Thank
so
you,
lucky
Jyoti.
to have you here.
It's my privilege and my honor to be there. And I want to thank Yugandhar and the whole team for inviting me. It's really my privilege. Thank you.
Okay. So one thing, Shreyans, what I went through when I was reading, about you, that your main focus of research, which as I read, led you to discover the world of quantum energy. I'm starting the other way around and then we'll move on.
Sure.
Quantum energy medicine and science and spirituality. What exactly led you to this?
So what happened is 1990, I'll just start with how I got into spiritual journey and what led me to quantum energy and quantum medicine and quantum physics, quantum science. So 1996, I went through a very challenging phase in my life where my father had passed away. And 6 months later that, I was just only 19, and 6 months later, I was detective of chest TB. And when was director of chest TB, I really broke down, and I really sought some help. I needed some divine guidance or somebody to really help me because I did not know how to carry on my life further. And those 6 months was with a lot of grief, a lot of anxiety about the future, because my younger brother was 11 years younger to me, uh, and coming from Bethul, and I was in Bombay. My mother was still, mother was still in the joint family there, and also the whole responsibility of the joint family. So there was too many things, too many responsibilities, but I did not know emotionally. I was not ready to cope up with the current responsibilities which I had to. So I needed that help, and I remember while coming from the doctor when I was detective of TB, I went to that temple and I broke down. I started crying, and it sought God that, God, I really need help. I need somebody to guide me. And the moment I reached home from the temple, my sister called me up, and she told me that one master, Brahmashi Patriji, is coming to Bombay tomorrow. And is he okay if he stays with you, because he has to drop his mother to Hong Kong? And so is he okay if he stays? I was completely fine, because anyways, I was at home all the day and not doing much. And as luck would have happened, I would have had it. So he came next day and he stayed with me, and he saw me. And till that, I have never done any meditation ever in my life. I had no clue what it is. I had no clue who Brahmashi Patriji was. So when he came, he saw me taking medicines. He saw me popping TB pills. And I told him, sir, I was detective of TB yesterday, so I have to do this 9 months course. So that's why I'm started this medicine now. But he knew me. He knew that my father had passed away because my sister had told him that. So he asked me that, why do you think that you have a TB? And I said, sir, I don't know. It's just that my father passed away. I'm in a kind of depression now. Last 6 months, I'm very, 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 very sad and very, very, a lot of grief within me. And I just don't know how to cope up with. So he said, that's why I'm here today. Whenever the student is ready, the teacher will appear. and probably you are ready for something, for some transformation, from some change in your life. And a lot of times the crisis creates opportunities. And these words were like, I mean, I had no clue what he was talking about. And he said, let's do he said, you don't need to depend on any doctor and medicine. You can heal on yourself. And then I said, then how do I heal? He said, through meditation. And he said, because the medicine you're taking is like you're just suppressing the symptom. You're just suppressing the fire alarm, where the fire, which is the real grief, continues. So you really need to deal with the fire, which is your grief, which is your feeling of loss of your father. So once you overcome that feeling, overcome that grief, then your TB will go away. I said, fine. I mean, I'm open to the whole idea. And first time I meditated with him, and probably I must have meditated for around 40 minutes. And I had a strong sensation of energy flowing into my chest. I had a chest TB, chest tuberculosis. So I had a strong sensation of chest energy flowing. And after 40 minutes, when I opened my eyes, I was alone with him. He was guiding me with his flute and guiding me how to do meditation. It's simple meditation, anapanasati meditation, observing the breath. And after 40 minutes, when I opened my eyes, I felt such a sense of relaxation and such a profound feeling of peace. You know, that feeling that I've totally forgotten in the last 6 months. It's like I've taken an energy bath after 6 months. And it was such an amazing feeling. And then he told me, if you meditate for 40 days regularly, you can heal yourself completely of TB. And because that feeling was so profound, I decided that, okay, let me meditate. Let me give this a try. And anyways, I wanted some help. So I was ready to try anything. So I did it for around 30 days. I was doing regularly. And in fact, I got so addicted to meditation that I was doing even 6 hours a day. And during with the intervals, but since I was totally cut off from my social life, I was not doing any business. I had stopped. I was doing CA inter, but I've stopped studying those 6 months. So I had all the time. So I was reading this book, doing meditation. He gave me 2 books to read: The Power of Creative Visualization and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And I was reading these 2 books, and then in one weekend I did a Reiki course just to heal myself. Then somebody told me, why don't you do pranic healing? Then I did a pranic healing course. Somebody told me to do a Silva method of mind control. I did another weekend, I did a Silva method of mind control course. So like that. And after 1 month, when I was due for my chest X-ray, my TB was completely gone. And that was such a overwhelming experience for me. And that instills so much of confidence in me that, I healed myself without any medicine. But after 30 days, I realized that not only did I heal myself TB, without even me really focusing on the grief, I realized that I was no more feeling that grief. I was no more feeling that loss of my father. And that was a time where I took, it was such a moment of inspiration where I decided that this lifetime, I want to focus on spreading meditation. And I remember going back to the same temple, and that this time it was tears of joy. And I decided that I want to dedicate my life spreading meditation. And that's how my spiritual journey started.
So you've been following Patriji, is it? I mean, you take him as your guru, as your guide, and you feel that you got the inspiration from him?
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's one more thing then. Just tell me, is it, I mean, you all, you must have heard, what Rumi says, that the heart needs to be broken to the light for the light to get in.
Absolutely. It is through the wounds that the light enters.
Right? So it means suffering is a must. What do you feel? Is suffering a trigger to get into spirituality, or does it make it move faster?
So I definitely feel suffering is always, we always draw this situation in our life, and suffering is a great teacher. So it's a choice. Either we can get into that vicious cycle of suffering and get into that emotional trap and not come out, or we can learn the lesson from the suffering and use it as a trigger to see what is the emotion, what is something take it as a mirror to see what is in me, what is that active emotion in me which I need to heal, what is it that I need to work on myself, and take it as a tool to actually heal ourselves. So, but having said that, I don't think suffering is necessary to heal, or suffering is not necessary for transformation. So there are two ways to transform ourselves. One is kensho moments. Kensho is a crisis moment, or in Japanese they call the crisis moments. And one is another is a moment of satori. Satori is a moment of awakening, or a great insight when you get. So my message is, we don't need to wait for any suffering or any pain or crisis for transform. Why not wait? Why not transform in the moment of inspiration? We don't need to wait for these challenging situations to come and then only we transform. We can we can transform even in the state of inspiration or in the state of joy. Like Kabir said, दुख में सुमरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, जो सुख में भी सुमरन करे, तो दुख काहे को होए.
But that requires wisdom, no?
So yeah, of course, it requires wisdom. It requires some guidance. It requires, of course, maybe it could come in a form of meditation, or it could come in a form of book. But what I mean to say, we don't need to wait for crisis to transform.
Sure.
A transformation can happen even in spite of the crisis, and not because of crisis.
Absolutely right. But then, when we are talking of wisdom, when we talk of wisdom, let us say there are so many wise people, but then there is depression at the same time. We find so many people who are depressed. They must be reading books. They must be going to Reiki healers. They must be going to workshops to attend. Do you think all of them are really inspired, or they forget once they come out, or once they read a book?
See, what happens is, we as a life, we have more than 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, of which 90 to 95% of the thoughts are coming from our past. So it's not coming from a creative thinking. It's not coming from a creative mind. And what happens is, as we are born, as our upbringing, our mothers, our fathers, our teachers, our preachers, our friends, our trends, because of all this, it forms a social conditioning. And we become conditioned, we become hardwired, we become neurologically hardwired. And we are actually living the same life. It becomes hardwired into a subconscious mind. And we are actually living a life from a subconscious. And that becomes, and over a period of time, whatever we experience in our life, it could be through life challenges or crises or opportunities, it becomes a part of a cellular memory, becomes a part of our emotional, like an emotional library which we carry from our past. And any situation, any life situation happens, we are always looking at it from the lens of the past, and we behave in a certain way, which is a past pattern. So a lot of times we may read a book, we may meet a meditation teacher, or we may do a meditation, but the moment we get up and we meet the life challenges, or we meet the same people in the same situation and the same things, they push the same emotional buttons, and they trigger the same emotional buttons, and we are back in our past. So that's why we are not changing. So it is so really, to really make a change, we have to become very conscious of our unconscious patterns. And that's why I always say there are two important tools. One is meditation. So, which is, of course, doing meditation, you feel great, you connect to your source energy, you connect to your inner joy, you connect to your true nature, which is of pure love, joy, bliss, abundance. But once you get up from meditation, it is very important, how do we maintain that modified state of consciousness? How to maintain that elevated emotions? Because the moment you go into our routine life, we go back to our past, because the same people, the same situation.
You mean to say that one can change his or her, thinking pattern, or even go back to, change your conditioning. You mean to say this? Yes. With meditation techniques?
With meditation and with mindfulness.
With mindfulness.
Because once you are in a day, during the course of the day, if you are very conscious of those unconscious patterns, unconscious thoughts, you know that it is coming from the past. It is not my creative thinking. It is not aligned with my vision of future. It is not. It is something which is which is again from which is addictive pattern, which my body is addicted to. So if you are aware of that, and the more conscious you are of your unconscious thoughts, beliefs, and unconscious actions, the less unconscious you'll go during the course of the day. Because with the very because with the very act of consciousness, you separate yourself from those thoughts. Because as long you were unconscious, you were one with those thoughts. The moment you become conscious, now you're separated from those thoughts. Now you're looking at now you're looking at not from the lens of the past. You're looking at in the present moment. Oh, this is what is coming from a past. This is not I want to be. And the more you become aware, the more you become aware in practice, you will slowly lower the volume, and slowly with the act of awareness, it will lose its intensity. Like Buddha said, seeing is freeing. The very act of seeing it will free you from those.
Yes.
And that's why the combination of meditation and mindfulness is important. Otherwise, what happens is it's like meditation is like eating organic breakfast, and during the course of the day, we again eat junk food. So mindfulness, we can avoid this, our junk behavior, our junk patterns, our junk addictive emotions, and break that pattern. And slowly with mindfulness, with the combination of mindfulness and meditation and mindfulness, that will become your new pattern. Then being peaceful, being in a state of love and joy will become your natural state, because you'll break that your old hardwired pattern in your brain. Neurologically, you will break those synaptic connections and will form new synaptic connections of love, joy, peace, happiness.
Then people get addicted to meditations,
which is great, which is a great addiction.
Isn't it an addiction still?
Of course, why not? It's an addiction to love. So instead of so it's a choice. In meditation, you go into a parasympathetic nervous system. You go into a altered state of consciousness. You go from beta brainwaves to alpha, theta, delta, and once you go into that state, you're in a state of growth, repair. Instead of panic attack, you get a love attack. So which is a great state, rather than living in a state.
You know, one thing I've seen people will say like, oh, today I couldn't do it. My day has gone waste. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit. That means without meditation, you will not be peaceful.
See, meditation is a great tool. See, all said and
no, I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's wrong. One should do, one should be. But should it become an addiction, or if one day you're not doing it, it is okay? I mean, that should have an effect on you, you know. This is what I think.
Of course. But you know what happens is, see, it is a different thing. We are living a worldly life. See, it is very different if you are living in Himalayas and living a complete life of sannyasi. Then even if you don't do for a day, it doesn't matter, because you're not really facing life challenges, or you know, there's not much of triggers. You're anyways cut off from your past. But today, in a day-to-day life, we are completely living. Like, if I give my example, I'm into my business. I'm facing routine challenges day to day. I'm in a family life where I have a wife. If you are married, anyways, you face a lot of challenges. So, and then on top of that, if you have a teenage child, then all the more. So, and then routine life challenges. You know, so we are living a very, very, very life surrounded by challenge. And the true enlightenment happens when we are able to really stay in that elevated emotions in spite of these challenges. So meditation is a great tool. So why not use this tool? But if one can be in that state in spite of meditation, that's great. I mean, because the purpose of meditation is to achieve that state.
So one day we will definitely reach that state, all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you are already in that state, and if you don't need meditation as a tool, then so be it. Then it's great. Yeah.
That's really great. Now there's one more thing. You know, I watched one video of yours, and that was on soul contract and law of karma. And this is what you said, patterns and conditioning.
Right.
So when we are in a family, when we are in any group, there is a soul contract. What is the purpose? What do you think what it is? And what is this law of karma? Can we change it? Can we
Sure.
change our karmas?
Yeah. So what is karma? Karma is basically, karma does not mean that you have done something wrong to somebody. And that's why you have to pay the price for it. Karma means whatever lessons you have not learned. Now, in recently, I was doing a past life regression with somebody, and that person died. Uh, that person was a joker in a circus. That person remembered his past life, and he was a joker in a circus. And when he died, he hurt his eyes, and there was a bleeding in his eyes, and then he passed away. He vacated his body. Now, at the same age, he died at the age of 36. At the same age of 36 in this lifetime, he started getting bleeding from his eyes.
Oh,
No doctor could heal him. And when I did his past life regression, so when he died, when he died, he had that cellular memory of that fear of of that hurt or that pain when he had fallen from the swing and he vacated his body. So that was a part of the cellular memory. At the same age in this lifetime, that memory again triggered. Now, was he a bad person? Did he did anything wrong to anybody? No. It was because because when he vacated his body, he was carrying that fear in his and the fear in his cellular memory, and now it got triggered. So karma does not mean that only if you have done something wrong, that is if that is the thing. Why does good people suffer?
mm.
Good people suffer because of ignorance, because of lack of awareness, because of lack of understanding about the spiritual laws. And we carry that fear or the grief or this unlimited or this limited emotions, the survival based emotions, and karma wants you to heal all these emotions, to learn the lessons, to overcome all these emotions. And that's why as a soul contract happens in between life states. And when you choose your life, you choose a lot of challenges in your life so that you can learn the lessons, because challenges act as a trigger mechanism to learn the lessons. And that's why you choose somebody. Maybe in last lifetime you had to take care of, say, maybe a child who was who was a handicap or something, or some disability. So this time you may choose to reverse the role, maybe because you did not get caring. You all your life you spent even just taking care of that child. So now you want to experience love and care. So as a karma, now karma is imbalance of experiences. So just to balance the experience, you choose to be born as a handicapped person. No, so that does not mean you did some bad karma. Yeah. It's just that as a soul, we want to have all kind of experiences and experience that unconditional love. So now you reverse the role. So now your child became your parent and you became the child, and now you are born like that. So karma could be seen in different ways. And karma does not mean, and even sometimes when you draw like as a soul contract, when you plan so many life challenges, you don't really need to go through those challenges if the whole purpose of these challenges is to learn the lessons. But if through meditation or through any wisdom or through any books or through any teacher or any guide or through your own insight or clarity, if you can learn the lesson even beforehand, then you can transcend the karma. Then you will dissolve those challenges. Then you will not need to face those challenges. So karma can be changed. Karma is optional. Karma is always a probability. So with our free will, that's where the free will comes in. With our free will, that's where law of attraction comes in. Where if you are able to heal yourself emotionally much before, then you will attract what you are. And if you don't need if you don't need to heal those emotions because it's already healed, then you will only attract those situations which are matching those emotions which you're already carrying in your consciousness.
Is this your manifestation meditation that you talk about?
So yeah, so manifestation is so in my manifestation meditation, what I teach is how to experience law of attraction. So a lot of times, see, So in the meditation, in the manifestation meditation, I have 5 steps which I teach. First step is brain coherence, where we observe our breath. We go into a deep state. We go into the alpha, theta, delta state, deep state, where we go access our subconscious mind, which you're in a state of complete relaxation. Then second step I teach is heart coherence, where we breathe from the heart. So when you breathe from the heart, you activate your heart center. You give more life. You pour in more life energy to your heart. You release so much of chemical called oxytocin or nitric oxide, which helps your heart expand. See, normally when you're in a state of survival, you contracts all the arteries and in your heart. So, but when you're in a state of pure love, joy, and when you focus on your heart, you connect to your source energy, and you experience that state. And once you experience that state, you open up a heart, you awaken your heart, and then I teach them to go to the third step is then sowing the intention. What is that you want to manifest in your life? So see it as if it's already happened. How would you feel? Notice it, see it, imagine it. Imagine means imagine in your mind that as if it has already happened, and match that with those elevated emotions. How would you feel if it has already happened? Sorry. So how would you feel it has already happened? So once you match those thoughts with those elevated emotions, then you draw those events into your life. So how the law of attraction works is, whatever you want in your life, whatever you want, it could be anything, already exists in the quantum field electromagnetically. And what you think and what you feel broadcast an electromagnetic signature into the quantum field. And if your electromagnetic signature matches the electromagnetic signature of what you want, then you draw that event into your life. So our thoughts send the signal out, but it is our feelings which draw the event back. So many times the manifestation do not work because we are visualizing or we are thinking, oh, everybody wants abundance. But why is not everybody rich? Why is not everybody abundant? Because you want abundant, but you are feeling lack. You want good health, but you are feeling broken or hurt. You want a great relationship, but you have resentment. Or so our thoughts are not matching, our emotions are not in congruence with our thoughts.
Yes.
So what we need is to marry those thoughts with those elevated emotions. And only then we draw that event into our life. So in my meditation, what I teach is to how to see whatever we do in our life is for an emotional payoff, right? If we do this, then I'll be happy. If I get a new car, then I'll be happy. If I get a new great spouse, then I'll be happy. If I get a new house, then I'll be happy. If I get a great watch, then I'll be happy. But same happiness, the same things which can give you happiness can also become a cause of your unhappiness or a misery. What if the moment you lose that car or somebody has stolen that car, now it has become a cause of misery, right? Now, the beauty is we don't need to depend outside for our happiness. The same emotional payoff which we are waiting for from things outside of us, we can get within us. And that is what...
It means again dropping the expectations.
No. So again, dropping expectation is external phenomena. You are dropping an expectation from outside, but internally, when you connect to your source, when you drop your identity, when you do meditation, when you drop your identity, when you drop your ego, your personality self, which is the extension of your ego, and when you drop all that, when you drop all the resistance thoughts which you are carrying from your past, then you experience your expanded consciousness. And once you experience that expanded consciousness, that is what you are. That is what you are. Pure love, pure joy. So somebody asked Buddha that, what have you gained through meditation? He said, I have not gained anything. I have lost everything through meditation. So he said, I lost my anger. I lost my pain. I lost my grief. I lost my unworthiness. I lost my fear of death. But when I lost all this, I found the treasure within me, which is pure joy, pure bliss, pure happiness. So what we are doing it for the emotional payoff outside, the same emotional payoff we can get it through meditation within us. And once we get that emotional payoff, then we don't actually want anything, because how can you want when you feel whole? Then all you want is to give. But the beauty is, when you're state of that gratitude, when you're state of that appreciation or joy or that satisfaction or that contentment or that fulfillment, then the universe will give you more of what will match that emotion.
Means
So then you draw those events
means
into your
you
life.
attract what you are or what you have already in
You attract not what you want, you attract what you are.
what you are.
Exactly what
Yes.
you write. Yeah.
Now there is one more. These are your practices. This is
Yeah.
what you're teaching. I
Yeah.
also came across some breath work you talk about,
Right. Right.
transcendental
Right.
breath work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that?
So transcendental breathwork is a amazing, again, so a lot of times in our challenges of our life to survive, or in our life offering to overcome all the challenges, we actually carry so much of emotions, these survival based emotions, and then we suppress these emotions, right? Because as a society we've been told to always be happy, always smile, right? So a lot of times we don't express our emotions, and sometimes a lot of lack of expression actually leads to depression. So all these emotions are trapped in our body. Our body represents a subconscious mind, right? So our body represents subconscious mind, and all these emotions are trapped in our body. And over a period of time, so much of energy, so much of our creative energy is actually consumed. The research shows that 90% of an average human energy is consumed to handle these trapped emotions,
Yes.
right? And now when you do breath work, it's a breathing technique. It's a conscious connected breathing technique, a very, very powerful shamanic breathing technique. And when you do that, where you make your body as an instrument of consciousness, and when you do this breathing technique, you excavate all these trapped emotions, and it will all surface up in your consciousness, in your you will feel it coming in your body, and then you release it from your body. So, and once you release it, you feel such a big sense of freedom. It's like, if you want to run a marathon, and if I give you 100 kgs of a bag on your back, and I tell you run a marathon, I mean, you can't be efficient, right? You can't be competent. You can't feel that freedom. But imagine if that 100 kg bag weight is lifted from your back, and then if you're told to run, then you can be so efficient. You can be so same way in our life. We've been carrying this baggage of these emotions, and not only from this lifetime. It could be even from our past lives. And
Just one question here. Is it something like chakra meditation then?
So chakra meditation is again different, where we focus on different chakras to release these emotions. But that is again a very, very subtle way. This is a very, very powerful tool. This is like going in a gym and doing that hard work, pushing your limits, challenging yourself. So this is not something which is very peaceful, silent, and meditation. See, in most of the time in meditation in chakras, you are focusing on those elevated emotions. You're drawing energy, and the energy is moving in the upper three chakras, and then it moves to the heart. Here we are using another tool where the energy first you activate your lower chakras. All those survival based emotions, all this fear, anxiety, which is trapped in our lower chakras, you first release from that. And once you release, and once that kundalini energy rises, and then you move into your higher energy centers. So you are actually working on your foundation. How can you build a 100 floor building if you don't have a strong foundation? In meditation, we are trying to focus on the 100th floor, or the 20th or the 50th floor, but we are not focusing on the foundation. But here it's a combination where we focus on the foundation, and then we go into meditation. So first you release those baggages of all those past emotions, and then So that does not mean in meditation you cannot release those baggages. Of course you can release, but it takes long time. It takes a lot of effort because we are used to activity, right? We are used to doing something. And in meditation is a tool of not doing anything. Just embrace silence of not doing anything. So sometimes, and we are not used to that. So that's why meditation takes time sometimes
It's very
to
difficult
get the desired
for a common
results.
man to understand.
For a common man, it takes time to get the desired results. But in breath work, the beauty is in breath work, we are using body. We are used to doing an activity. And now I am telling you to do another activity. So if you have to do something, it's easy for you to do. So then you will do, okay, breathe faster, faster, faster. Then you will do it. But the beauty is when you do that, without you realizing, you will anesthetize your analytical mind, the same thing which meditation is doing, and then you slip into meditation.
That's wonderful.
And then,
that's wonderful.
So it's a great tool. You know how like Osho taught many different techniques, right? He said ki, where he is making somebody jump and shout and laugh, again making them going to meditation through an activity.
That is, when you're doing something, you're as it is joyful. You're engrossed in your action.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Okay. So it's a beautiful cleansing process, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing now.
But it is not just cleansing, it is much more than cleansing because you experience those gamma states of consciousness. From beta brainwave, you go into alpha, theta, delta, and then you slip to the gamma state. And when you're in the gamma state, you experience the mystical moments, you experience the transcendental moments. Sometimes you connect with your loved ones who have passed away. Sometimes you go into your past life. Sometimes whatever experience is needed for you, for your transformational journey or for your healing, you will experience that. Sometimes you meet because you are changing a vibrational frequency from third dimensional frequency, you move beyond time and space. You're into this fifth dimensional frequency. So sometimes you connect with the entities who are able to access those dimensions, and you experience divinity. You experience that oneness. You experience. So it is not just a way of releasing these emotions, but to also experience those transcendental moments. So a lot of people I've done breathwork with me for the first time or with somebody else, and they experienced what they have not experienced with 20 years of meditation.
But you require a guru or a guide or a mentor, whatever you call it. You need to have somebody with you to guide you.
Sure, breathwork is a guided process, but maybe for first 5 or 10 times you need some guidance. But after a point, then you can do it on your own. I mean, you need. It's good to do with the guided music. Music acts as a very provocative tool. It evokes those emotions and let it release. So with music and guidance, it is always very helpful. And I have all those recordings freely available on my website. shreansdaga.org.
I've gone through all that. And that is why I know what all meditations that you're doing, So they're wonderful in the sense that what you're saying is right. For meditation, one needs to sit. But for this, when you're doing something, because we are used to action.
Yeah. So I feel that's why I see the combination of meditation with breathwork acts as a great tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prachiti, any question from your end?
I had a question popping up since quite a number of minutes. Shreyas, you had mentioned that you would go into deep meditation as long as for 6 hours you would sit. Immediately after you had the first time you met your guru, and then you could continue in that state. And recently for the previous question, you answered that it is action going into meditation and whatever. But a large chunk of the society, that is our young generation, who have to pursue career, who have to start a life and all. How do you bring these things to people who are career oriented, who are higher education oriented, and talking about meeting entities in the in-between space?
बिटू, हाँ, आप क्या करो? Join करवाओगे?
Meditation increases your thought power because there's no exception to law of attraction, right? Whether you are doing business or whether you're career oriented or whether you are or whether you're just spiritual. So I feel spirituality is not different from materialism. I feel both are connected. Both, it is an extension. It is an extension of spirituality. Why do so many spiritual teachers are so abundant? Osho had 92 Rolls Royces. So spirituality does not mean not being abundant. True spirituality is being rich on all aspects. And once we have that emotional richness, then everything else will be a reflection of that richness, and it will be also in form of materialism. So when you are able to meditate, when you go into the silence, silence is so sometimes when you go into the silence, you come back much more rejuvenated. You, with meditation, you gain a lot of clarity, you gain more insights, you gain much more clear, you become much more clear about your purpose of life, and then your actions are directed, very focused. So meditation is a time saving exercise. A lot of people, my business friends, a lot of people are tell me, oh, I want to do meditation but I don't get time. And I said, exactly, that's why you need to do meditation. Because if you do meditation, then you'll have all the time, because you'll become so efficient. You'll achieve much more in much less time. Lao Tzu said, there's a quote by Lao Tzu, I do nothing, but I leave nothing undone.
Is there a fixed time for meditation? People do it in the morning, or you can be, I mean, anytime.
See, I feel meditation can be done anytime, but but ideally if you can do in the morning before you start your day.
Yeah.
So then you're creating a day from those elevated emotions, from those heightened emotions, of love, pure joy, and that oneness. And once you carry the day from that state, then because you always think equal to your emotional state, you always make choices equal to your emotional state. And if you are in those right emotional state, then you'll make choices from those elevated, and then your behavior, your behavior will match your intention.
Yes.
And then you have a motivation, there's a motive for action. Then you are inspired to take right steps, right action.
There is this school of thought who say that between 12 o'clock midnight to 3 a.m. in the morning, the 3 hours, they are again considered inauspicious for such activities. Do you give weightage to this idea? The 12
I
to
would
3.
I would like to go on a very scientific aspect, because see, if you have a normal sleeping time of around say 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, at the time of after 4 to 5 hours, around 5 hours, you have when you sleep, you release this chemical called melatonin. Melatonin is something which puts you to sleep, and melatonin is a chemical which puts you into growth and repair mode. Now, a lot of times, I personally like to get up at early in the morning and meditate, because you're already into that alpha zone, into a deep zone, and your melatonin release is at the highest point. And when you do meditation at that point, it is easier for you to experience those transcendental moments or those mystical moments, right? Having said that, it is not necessarily that you cannot experience that state if you're not into that, if you don't do it at 4 o'clock. Some people, I mean, we all are family people. It is sometimes it is not practical to get up at 4.
Yes.
Some people are housewives. They can only meditate after the husband goes to office or the children goes to school. So whatever time is the right time where you can give meditation as a priority.
Okay.
That, okay, this 1 hour I am going to put my mobile in silent mode or switch off my phone, and this is my time. This is my time I'm going to give myself. So that is the best time.
So these grown-up teenagers, actually, the entire lot of teenagers, the grown-up ones, for them, actually, the day begins around 6:30 in the evening, and they are quite awake till 4 a.m. in the morning. Then they go off to sleep. So for all, because I deal with in students daily, so they tell me, ma'am, the best time to meditate is in the night after 12 midnight. So I just wanted to
Absolutely, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever suits you. So there's no inauspicious time for meditation.
Well, there was one thing, I came across that you were into pyramid meditation also.
Right.
Right? That was in Bangalore, Maitre Buddha Pyramid. at
Yeah,
Pyramid Valley,
that,
Bangalore, right?
yeah,
And
that's
that's
right.
the largest pyramids in the world, is it?
Yeah, for meditation.
For meditation. And 5,000 at a time can be there.
5,000 people can sit together inside the
Yes.
pyramid.
What
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
benefit of that? What is the benefit
So,
of pyramid meditation?
so this was founded by Brahmashi Patriji, and then he inspired us, and we all are trustees in the whole organization. And so the benefit of pyramid is a great, it's a sacred because of its sacred geometry. It draws a lot of cosmic energy, and when you when you meditate, you draw cosmic energy, right? When you empty your mind, you start drawing cosmic energy. So now, when you're meditating inside the pyramid, you're already in the reservoir of cosmic energy. So then it is very easier for you to slip deep into meditation in a pyramid. And that's why pyramid is a great tool for as a great tool to help you slip into a deep state of altered state of consciousness or a deep state of meditation. So that's why we build pyramids for meditation.
Okay. Now there's one more question for you. See, if you were supposed to, I mean, you were supposed to give the entire world just one concept from your end, what would be that? What would you like to teach the world? Just one thing.
Meditation, without fail. I mean,
And the reason,
because
huh?
because once you learn meditation, then they will get all their answers. Then they're on their journey, they're on their path. So there's a quote by which says that when the student, the Zen quote, Zen saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
But when the student is really ready, the teacher will disappear.
Absolutely right.
So if the person learns meditation, then he doesn't need me anyways anymore, because then he will be on his own journey, on his own path.
So what should be humanity's goal? What do you say? Should everyone be going towards a one common goal?
So I feel
And what should be
for a
that common
common
goal?
man, I think
What
for a
would be that
common
common goal?
man,
Huh?
for a common man or for a common person who as a common person, where we all are, how we can connect to each other, where we all live day-to-day realities and facing day-to-day situations and challenges and crises and opportunities and contrast situations. So I feel we have to focus on our emotional enrichment. Emotional richness is the true richness, because once you're emotional manifested, anything, if you're emotional manifested, then it's a law. Then physical manifestation will always follow. Anything what you do in your life, anything what you see in your life today was first imagined, right? Was whether it's today we are connecting on a laptop or a computer or a mobile phone. It was always imagined first, and then it came into creation. Everything was first a thought, and then it came into creation. And so if you can create, and the law of nature works, the law of attraction works, always physical manifestation always precedes emotional manifestation, always precedes your vibrational frequency. So if you
So,
are able to vibrationally contribute to the world, then you will saw more evidence of what which will match those vibrational frequency.
so
So
our talking, you think was pre-thought? Was it a thought?
no, I think it's a vibrational alignment.
Huh,
Of course, it's a vibrational alignment, definitely. And
definitely.
everything in our life, not just this,
Huh.
whether it is good or bad, and which is of course a perception. I mean, I feel all situation is fundamentally neutral. It is through our perception we decide whether it is good and bad, and through that perception we buy that experience. If we
Okay.
think it is bad, then we'll buy that bad experience. So
What is
energy is the currency. Energy is the currency of the universe.
of the universe?
Wherever attention goes, our energy flows, and with our attention, we buy that experience into our life.
What is that which prevents human beings from living to their full potential? It is their negativity. Is it? What is it exactly according to you?
So I feel what prevents them for living their truest potential is their obsession with the things which they do not want,
Which they do not.
which they do not want.
Okay.
So most of the time we are obsessed with what we are missing in our life, right?
Mhm.
rather than coming from the state of satisfaction or gratitude or that contentment or the fulfillment of what we already have in our life, we are always focusing on what we are missing in our life. And if I get that, then I'll be happy. And once I get that, then again we think, then I'll be happy. And we keep postponing our happiness to tomorrow. And when the tomorrow comes, you can only experience in a form of present moment, right? The tomorrow you'll always experience tomorrow always in a form of present moment. So life is nothing but slices of present moment. But our relationship with tomorrow is when the tomorrow comes in a form of present moment, then we say, okay, now if I get that, then I'll be happy. Again, you postpone it for another tomorrow. And that's how we keep postponing our happiness to tomorrow and not enjoy the present moment. Our present is a presence to us. So if we live our present moment in the true contentment, true fulfillment, then you will draw more of those situations, more of the things in your life, which will give you more of contentment, which will give you more of feeling of gratitude. What you appreciate, appreciates. So we need to live from that deeper state of contentment because even if you're chasing for happiness or even if you're chasing for success, we know that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Because you have given your time, you've given your energy, and then you got that success, the so-called success, but you're not feeling fulfillment. So many film stars or celebrities or politicians, we see that they chase some status, and once they get the status, deep down they're still not happy. Happiness missing. So success without happiness is the ultimate failure. And that's why meditation is a great tool to give you that clarity. You will ask, if you're asking for something, is it really that I really want it? Will it give me an everlasting happiness? Will it give me that contentment? Is it aligned with my purpose of life? Is it aligned with my vision of my life? This is where I want to go. So that's why I feel meditation is a great tool. That's why when you ask me one thing which you'd like to give, that's why I said meditation. And best thing is meditation gives you that emotional payoff, independent of the outside situation. See, most of the time we are living a life. If my condition will change, then my emotion will be changed. If my condition outside will be happy, then I'll feel happy.
We depend on the outside.
Outside, right? Mm-hmm. So the cause is outside and then the effect is inside. So we are living a life of cause and effect. So my teaching is how to live a life of causing and effect.
Yes.
See, life is not happening to you. Life is happening from you.
From you.
When things change within you, things change around you. So we have to take the power back to ourselves, So we have to choose whether our environment controls our thinking or whether our thinking controls the environment. So if we, in spite of the challenging conditions, if you can change your emotion, which is aligned with your vision of future, if you can teach your body emotionally what your future is going to feel like before it's made manifest, then the future will follow your emotion. Then you will change the condition outside. And that's what magic is. Magic happens, that's where the life will be full of serendipities and synchronicities and surprises and wonderment, And that's why meditation is so important. Because you are learning the tool of giving that emotional payoff independent of the outside situation.
This would be your one wish for the world also, I think. Then.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. Because logic does not produce magic.
Logic cannot, right.
So we have to drop the logic if you want to experience magic.
It is faith on something which is not visible to you.
Yeah, and I would not just say faith because it's a science.
It's
a science. It's experiential. I would say a religion could be a faith where, okay, you just believe in that person and that, or you do, if you do 10 days of fasting, then something, or then you will go to heaven. Or if you do this, then you'll go to heaven. That could be a faith because you don't know it. You just believe it because your parents told you so, or your religion told you so. But spirituality is purely experiential.
Yes.
There's no faith involved. It is your faith in yourself. It is your belief in yourself, and it is purely experiential.
You are the universe.
You are the universe. Absolutely.
There's one more thing. Now, since we have so many religions, so many belief systems, so many, diversities all over. But if we want that we should bring the whole world to just one consciousness, it should be a unified consciousness. What would be your, way of bringing it?
Exactly. The spirituality is the way. Because spirituality, religion divides, spirituality unites. And I'm not against religion. What I'm against uh, is is saying that, oh, my religion is the only religion, or my religion is better than your religion. If we imbibe the essence of religion, if we use the essence of religion to experience that oneness, that we all came from the same source. Every religion says that we came from that one source, but we think that my source is different from your source. But the truth is, we all came from the same source. Eventually, religion is man-made, and in the history, there's been more wars and fights, or more torture has been done in the name of religion than anything else. So I believe spirituality is one thing which unites all of us, where we experience consciousness, where we all part of one consciousness. We are all coming from the same source, and that's what the quantum science is. We are not separate from each other. So somebody asked Rumi, so many people come to meet you. How do you handle others? He said, where are the others? They are me and I am them. There's no difference.
But Rumi was made to experience this, no? He experienced it. Only then he could say.
Absolutely.
Without experience, how will you know that you are you and I am I?
Absolutely. And then again, one more thing Rumi said, let's be nothing. I heard it lasts forever. And that's what meditation is, to become nothing. Because to manifest from nothing, you first have to become nothing.
And what is that becoming nothing?
That's what? Observing the breath.
And
then when you empty your mind, that's what we experience nothingness. We experience pure emptiness. Pure. And everything came from emptiness. Before the planets, the earth, the moon, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the human kingdom, everything came from that nothingness. Because that nothingness is the field of infinite potentials, the field of infinite possibilities, right? That quantum field is the field of infinite potentials. And once you connect to that quantum field, once you become nothing, once you tune into the quantum field, then you can manifest anything.
But Shreans, Rumi says, just now you said, Rumi said, where are others? That means he's everything.
Yes. So that's why manifestation is possible, because you become one with what you want to manifest now. You become so close, there's no separation. There's no separation between what you want to manifest and what you want. Because you become so one. And so then that's why it's a feeling that, oh no, it's already there. It's already there. And when you feel it, you draw it. That's the side effect.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Anything, Prachiti? Any question?
No questions now. It was grand listening to him. And the last few sentences, in fact, were really real eye-openers. This nothingness and emptiness, Shreans, great.
Thank you. And one more thing I would like to, probably end by, I don't know what is how much is the time we have.
You can go on. I mean, that would be your message to this world through this platform.
Yeah, so my, important thing is...
speak as much as you want.
So, see, our soul does not care what we do for the living. Nor will we care when we vacate the body. What our soul cares is your state of being while you're doing what you're doing. So most of us, as a human being, we know the human part. The human relates to doing. But the being part, the state of being, while you're doing what you're doing, we forget.
Yes.
Because we feel if we keep doing, someday we'll be being.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that doing continues, and that being never comes. Right? So important is the journey is more important than the destination.
And people are always after this. I'm doing so, still I'm not happy. I don't know what wrong is going on.
Yeah, so that happiness is, you don't have to postpone your happiness. That happiness is in now. How can I find a reason to be happy now? The fact that I'm alive today and I'm breathing and I'm talking to you is a reason enough. Exactly. to have the gratitude, to have that satisfaction, that contentment, that peacefulness within me. And the best things in life are free. And the COVID has taught us, I think it is the It
Best
is
part.
the teacher of the century now, the COVID, because we have learned to experience what is the freedom, to value the freedom, and didn't we always thought that we want some time with our family, find, and now when people are spending to get the time with the family, now they are saying, oh, how when can I go out? They are finding reasons to be, they are finding reasons to be to embrace that anxiety which they are addicted to embrace that fear which they are addicted to. So you are the grievance looking for a cause. You
And it's
are a
not
happiness
satisfied. There is
looking
no
for a cause.
satisfaction actually. If you get one thing, you want the other thing. This is what you said.
See, it is us. So whatever emotion we are addicted to, then we find a cause outside to match that emotion. People, places, situation, time, and event may keep changing. If I'm not happy with one girlfriend or I'm not happy with one wife, I will not be happy with even other 10 different wives.
Yes.
Because unless I change myself within, I will find the same evidence of the same reflection of the same projection of that in some another personality now. So the people may keep changing, the situation may keep changing, but unless I have changed myself, my world will not change. So that's why you are the grievance looking for a cause, or you are the happiness looking for a cause. If you are happy within, you will find reasons to be happy. But if you have a grievance within, you will find reasons to find grievance within. And even if there's no grievance around you, you will go back 20 years back and say, oh, this person did this to me. And you will again release the same emotion, same chemical addiction, same chemicals in your body, because by memorizing that past, you will relive those emotions. Because your brain does not know the difference whether you're living that reality or you're imagining it. It's like watching a movie.
Lately,
When you're
even the mentality of people have changed. In fact, they look to the past life regression techniques now as a matter of entertainment. They want it to be cast in front of them as if it was some movie. So they fail to
Right.
achieve the target. I mean,
You're
this is
right.
what it is. One after
You're
the
right.
other, we fall into the same loop.
Right. But at the same time, I feel we need not judge anybody. I would not like to judge anyone. I feel everybody is perfect the way they are. Everybody is at their spiritual journey. How as a soul we evolve from infant soul to baby soul to young soul to adult soul to old soul to transcendental soul to infinite souls. So if I feel that I am a mature soul or an old soul, there was a time when I was also in one of my soul's journey, I was also a young soul or a baby soul. So like say, even I believe that even Bin Laden will one day become a Buddha. And maybe I was a terrorist in one of the lifetimes. Yes, Valmiki became achieved Buddhahood in that same lifetime, right? He was a thief. So we all have the potential. The Buddhahood is already there within all of us, and we all have to see. I mean, if I'm looking in your eyes, I'm looking in the eye of God, and you are looking in the eye of God. It's easier for us to believe in God than to believe that we are God.
Exactly.
Right? So we have to believe that we are all gods, and we have to truly look each other as if we're all gods. So we don't have to judge anybody. We don't have to judge anybody, because what you judge, the very act of judgment carries an emotional charge. And when you judge somebody, you will draw more of those situations in your life because of that emotional charge which you're carrying. So I believe everybody is perfect in their state of evolution, and your job is to, of course, teach or guide. While we are learning, we are also sharing. But then we have to respect their choice, how much they want to take it or how much they want to postpone it. See, Buddha is inevitable. It's now or later. It's in this lifetime or after 10 more lifetimes. The free will is how fast you want to take it. But if somebody wants to postpone it, it's up to them.
Absolutely wonderful. It's up to us where we want to go, how fast we want to
Absolutely.
go.
If it is to me, if it is to be, it's up to me.
Yes, yes. And that was so wonderful talking to you, Shreyans, because, your sharing, I think it is going to be for many souls to really open up by listening up to you.
No, it's my pleasure too, and thank you for the opportunity. It's absolutely my pleasure and privilege.
We are honored. We are honored.
Same, same, exactly.
In fact, we were waiting for you since so many, I think, months. Kehlo, up to August. We started in
I know,
July.
I know, I know. Because you told me it's December, so I always knew, "Arey, chalo, we can do it later."
No, but then it's okay. It's always better. Like we're going to start in October now with Australia.
Yeah,
You know everything about it. I guess you
right.
know it. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
not,
know, I know.
yeah. But in Asia, we're going to have it in December.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, so we'll meet you there again. Thank you
Sure,
so
sure.
much.
Convey my regards to Yugandhar also. And yeah,
Yes.
thank you
Thank you
all.
so
So,
much for being with us. Thank you.
Shreyans
Thank you.
mentioned Ugandhar, Dr. Ugandhar.